Hi, I'm Roz from World Have Your Say. This is a download from the BBC. If you'd like to read more information and our terms of use, take a look at bbcworldservice.com/podcasts. Here's today's show.
We've heard the news from the BBC. Now it's your turn.
You can post on facebook.com/World Have Your Say or get in touch via Twitter at BBC_WHYS.
Welcome to World Have Your Say.
Hello, I'm Jill McGivering. Welcome to World Have Your Say. Can you afford to buy petrol nowadays? Are you seeing rising prices? And if so, what difference is it making to your life? In parts of Nigeria, the cost of petrol has just doubled, even tripled. That's because the government has withdrawn subsidies. It's been under pressure to do that because it's been spending billions of dollars a year keeping prices down. The government in Ghana made a similar move a few days ago, and prices in Burma have gone up by a third without warning. India, many European countries and the United States have all seen a series of price rises. So if you're affected or if you want to comment, call us on country code 44 20 70 83 72 72, or you can email us at worldhaveyoursay@bbc.com.
From Nairobi to Cairo to London, England to Cleveland, Ohio, this is BBC World Have Your Say. Tell the world what's on your mind.
Well, I'm afraid it may not be a very happy new year for motorists around the world, or indeed anyone else feeling the effect of rising petrol prices. Some in Nigeria have been protesting today as prices there went up dramatically.
It's painful. It's painful.
Japeth, what do you think?
Come again?
The government has not been sincere. The government told us just 2-3 days ago that they were going to remove the subsidy after engagement. Probably they were targeting April. Then to prove that they are a deceitful government, they came up this morning and yesterday, January 1st, and removed the subsidy. Now, Nigeria is broke, we understand that. But what are they giving the people to be able to come out and say, you give us your subsidy? This is a government that has just budgeted $6.7 million. That is £1 billion naira for the president's feeding for next year. This is a government that budgeted $1.3 million, 200 million naira to water gardens in the presidency. This is a government where the Senate president earns 8 times the amount of money the president of the United States earns as a salary. And he doesn't pay up to 10% of taxes of that amount. This is a government that said they were going to reduce recurrent expenditure for the next budget because Nigeria was broke. What did they do? They increased it by 92 billion naira. That is an increase of $613 million. This is a government where if you reduce the amount of money earned by the lawmakers in a year by 70%, Nigeria would raise $415 million. And not just that, they would still be earning more than every lawmaker in the West, even in China and the United States. So basically what we're saying is, you want to take the subsidy, good, but there are certain things that have to happen. The government, those in government, the president, the lawmakers, they must first of all put their feet on the ground and say, this is what we're giving the society. At the moment, they are not doing anything like that. Now they are bullying the people. Today, we didn't have a protest in Abuja. We went to register a protest, and it was very successful because within 2 hours on Twitter, we agreed to do it, and we had close to 300-400 people there. Apparently, after the majority of the people had left, the police were able to gather enough of energy. They bullied the people that were there. But when we were there, they didn't have the guts to do that because they could see we were ready. And this, we are ready. Nigerians are organizing across the nation. Even outside of Nigeria and the diaspora, they are organizing. And this is going to be very, very difficult for this government. If they are smart and wise, which of course is not part of what you can ascribe to them, but if they would just borrow some sense from somewhere, they should better rescind this decision before the country comes down, because it will come down. If this is not changed, if the decision is not rescinded, it will come down.
All three of you are saying you are opposed to these price rises, but yet you also understand that Nigeria is very short of money. These subsidies are costing billions a year.
Yeah, the subsidies were said to have cost us $6 billion this year. But do you know that it cost us just a third of that amount in the previous years? So something happened to these numbers. Because the government has shown to be liars over the years, we could actually easily deduce that they did something to these numbers, which are not true. But even if the government is broke, they have not shown us from their own way of spending that this government is broke. This is a government that pays its lawmakers over 100 billion naira every year. You don't tell people you are broke when you're using their money to fly across the world. The president of Nigeria flew over 200 people to Australia When the Queen of England flew just 15 people to Australia for the Commonwealth Head of Government meeting. These are things you have to look at before you begin to talk about the other things that affect the people. This is a country where the people are in charge. They forge their generators, they provide their power, they provide their water. They are totally in charge of their own existence. The only thing that makes it look like the government exists in Nigeria is the full subsidy. Now the government wants to take it. So what do you expect? Of course, the people would come out and revolt. And this is going to happen.
Let me come in here. What I can say is that I personally, I don't believe in anything subsidy. I believe in free market, the free market where everything should be bought and sold for the right price, right? However, we are in a country where, like he just said, nothing is really provided for us, right? We don't even have good roads. We don't have electricity. Right now we are standing here. There is no electricity.
Total darkness.
It is totally
President
dark
Jonathan,
in this part of the
President Jonathan has administered over $200 billion. He has not shown anything he has done with that. So how do Nigerians begin to trust him with $6 billion he claims he wants to get from subsidy? If they cannot trust him with a date, if they cannot trust him to stick to a date in April, how do they, and he did it in January, how do they trust